Hi, it's Danny. Welcome to this video, welcome to this channel, and if you're returning, welcome back. Deep gratitude to you for joining me today. What are we doing today? Well, I have been doing a lot of thinking. So we're at the end of 2022, we're knocking on 2023, and I still don't really know what I'm doing for my planner situation. Yes, I mentioned I love the Sterling Ink Common Planner. I love bullet journaling, and I have a Hobonichi here, a Take Note there. I have so many different options, and I don't want to abuse that. So I thought to myself, let me go through my closet, because I keep all my journals, notebooks, planners, etc. in my closet. Maybe one day I'll give you guys an office tour. It's not that great, so I don't know. Anyhow, and I went looking for all the planners that I used in 2022, even the ones that I barely used in 2022, and here they all are. So I decided to go through them. I was about to go through them by myself, and I was just like, well, maybe this will be a great lesson for somebody, or help somebody decide what they want to do planner wise. I know technically December 1st is a lot of when most people start using their planners. I'm pretty sure the Wonderland222 starts to planner December 1st of the previous year. So does the Hobonichi weeks. So I know some of you already started, but moving forward, if you haven't started whatever planner you've purchased, maybe watching this video could be helpful in deciding what to do for the following year before you start any of your planners. So let's go through it together. I didn't have a plan when I started last year. I kind of went with my usuals, and my usuals are, let me move this out of frame. Yeah, I'm right-handed, let's put that there. My usuals are has been the Hobonichi. I used to use like the kind of planner, like in college they give you like the school planner where you have the holidays and days off ingrained in the planner. Like that used to be my planner, like the C wiring or the wired planners, and I used this for a while, and I realized years later that I was most productive when I was using a planner. And I think I was watching Planet Rocks, and she was talking about, I think, the Clever Fox and all that jazz. And eventually I landed on the Hobonichi planner, and I started using it. And that was like, I think 2017. I think the first planner I got was the Hobonichi weeks. And then eventually I got an A6, I tried an A5, etc., etc. But I always bought a weeks. So before the beginning of 2022, I'm pretty sure I got this in September. I got a Hobonichi Mega hardcover, and I got a Hobonichi Weeks sneaker. So in 2019, I used the hell out of my Hobonichi Weeks. In fact, when I looked at my 2021 Hobonichi weeks, it was filled completely. I don't know, I can't remember if I back planned or I was actually steadily using it. I can't really remember, because you know the memory's going, man. So I purchased this in September, and as you can see, this girl barely used it. Look at this. Like, I put birthdays and stuff. I didn't use this. I never use this page. Didn't use it in, oh, maybe I did use it in December. So was this what I did? When I would get them in, when I get my Hobonichis early, I would, the GTA, so I took some notes. I would make up November spreads in the back because the Mega has so many pages. But it looks like I was trying to plan in this in January and in February. I was planning. And then March, and these are just birthdays I filled in, and then no more, nada, zippity doodah. I also tried to decorate. I'm pretty sure since it's decorated so much, this was a video that I recorded with you guys. And I tried to incorporate it that way, but it didn't get much use beyond that. So last week I planned was in February, and I just fell off. So that was the regular mega. And the sneaker, I think I bought the sneaker first because I would make multiple purchases. I know I have like, they had the little spoons that year for Hobonichi, and I have 3 of them, and I'm like, where's the 3rd one? Where, like, what planner did that go to? So you could see I had a daily log, and I was writing in this in November. So November 2021, I made a calendar in the back, made a spread that mimics the Hobonichi spreads, and I did daily logs up until January 5th, and then she stops. When we look at, well, probably because I started planning in here in the regular weekly spreads up until January, some light planning. I already could tell by this that this is not me planning. This is me a week before writing this in just to have it, because when I really plan, I make a ton of notes. So these 2 lasted pretty much until February, and I stopped. I think I stopped because I was introduced, I don't know by who, to the Wonderland222. Now, this is the Wonderland222 2022 B6 planner, and I put in my words. I had a key, I set it up. I had these little tabs that I think you could purchase them on JetPens and maybe even Amazon. I was step tracking up until February 9th. I was doing my YouTube tracking, and track November, December, January, and then March it ended. So I have November. I don't think they go up to November anymore. If I recall, the planner for 2023 only starts in December. But I had this, and I was planning. And planning up until December, January, doing color schemed logs. And then February, I think I filmed this because it's stickered to hell. And then I stopped. But I think I stopped because I've used a B6 for bullet journals and for Stalogies. And while I enjoy it, I really love an A6 size. So I, of course, bought an A6 size. Excuse me, an A6 sized Wonderland222. I put some stickers in it. I'm not sure if I've ever filmed this one. I was obviously using it up until April because I tracked my April steps up until the 3rd. Here are my YouTube algorithm information. And I stopped in April. My trackers probably used the information in my B6 Wonderland222 to fill in this. I don't know when I really started this planner, but again, I stopped about April 4th. And maybe backlog this information. I'm trying to remember, did I have this planner like as my private planner where I put like extra information in it? From what I can tell, there's nothing here that I wouldn't have put on YouTube. I tipped in some Sterling Ink freebies. These were the freebies. This was before I was in the subscription box like that. And planned the hell out of this. And this is when I joined them. I think March was when I started using the subscription box. And I must have did a plan with me with this bad boy because it is stickered. This is Paper Minty Studio stickers. And then March, planned without, yeah, I must have filmed this because I'm covering something up. And this is like, I must have recorded this, but this is not me really planning because I take a lot of notes when I'm really planning. Must have filmed this, and I kept this going up until the 24th or the last week of April. Tipped in the May Sterling Ink subscription box. Oh, this is cute. More planning. I did the first week of May, and then that's all she wrote. Did I journal? I did some dailies in the back. It looks like some journaling, which I'm not gonna page through that. And I stopped. I even had the accompanying notebook, which I did do some dailies in here, and I think half was some journaling, which, you know, yeah, I did some dailies. March was definitely when I joined the Sterling Ink subscription. Did my dailies here, but it didn't go anywhere. And then I went back to my old faithful, which is bullet journaling. I use bullet journal. I have always used bullet journal techniques in all my planners since I started seriously planning, i.e. buying expensive planners and writing in them. Something about bullet journaling always appealed to me because I am, in fact, a journaler. I've been journaling like my private personal life since I was 11 years old, so for 30 years. And I just started, and I believe it started in March. And I have my step tracker, period tracker, cheat sheet, collage. I must have messed up somewhere here. March. And from March, and I have April here. I did it daily, weekly. I think my setups are pretty much the same as they are in my most recent videos. I have April in here. You can see I'm using a lot of Sterling Ink stickers, some paper Minty Studios, which is a very close second to my favorite sticker shop. I love their stuff. Some random stickers that I purchased from, I think, Amazon. I don't know. Some notes, things that I covered. Yeah, so I kept, and this stayed until May. I put in my May, and if I remember correctly, I was so close because I journal and do my coping skills at the back of my journal. So I don't know why, but I was concerned that I was going to run out of pages between the journaling that would move forward and the planning that would move backward. I got up to the 19th. Huh. Was I doing this regularly? No. Yeah, so I jumped from like May 1st to the 19th. So I moved into a smaller book. If you could see, these are the Sequence notebooks, which I love. Thank you, Ellie's Corner, for introducing me to it. They have a pocket-sized A6, which they call the A6 minus, and they have A6 plus. The A6 plus does not a traditional A6 make. Like, see, I'm comparing with the Wonderland222. It's about like a little bit like shorter than a classic A6. But it's the same width, so it's hard to find like a leather cover for this size, and I wanted a leather cover at the time, so I moved into a pocket, and the Sojourner Truth leather covers actually fit this. It's pretty much the same size as a field notebook, so I moved into this size for a little while, and I wasn't consistent. This is pretty much when I stopped filming YouTube videos, and I just kind of was just knee deep in work and trying to finish the thesis and all that jazz. See, my May tracker is empty. I jumped from the beginning of May to May 28th. Then June, I was no, I wasn't consistent because I went from May 30th, June 5th, didn't write anything in June. Then June 12th, June 19th. Like, I was all over the place in June. So that was June and May. And not including the regular, like, this is the stuff I transfer in every notebook, like period tracker, step tracker, etc. And this was the month of May and June, which doesn't represent daily logs or anything that I usually do for the month. And then July hit, and I was using it more steadily in July. As you can see, my tracker is so full. But then I started July 1st, went to July 11th. I was just very inconsistent. But what I do notice is, and I was still journaling a lot in the back, and I was running out of pages. So I moved over to here in August. And I have some blank pages. I would set up, when I wasn't filming, I would set up my dailies in advance. Like, I would sit there, create the August spreads for the monthly and daily, weekly, all that stuff. And I find that that was really helpful to me in just coming back in and filling in pages. So I was pretty more frequent, though. There are times where I didn't do anything and I would just fill it out with stickers to make it pretty. But it was more consistent than it was in like May and June. In September, I wasn't very consistent either. See, maybe I needed more space. I needed a regular A6 size. I love the pocket because I could literally shove it in my pocket, in my hoodie pocket, and just take it with me. But I wasn't as, I don't know, consistent in September. You see, I made spreads and I didn't fill them out. Made spreads, didn't fill them out. Like, I was just trying to get my footing, but I would still return to this. I reached for my bullet journal, and this is my most recent one. As you've seen in recent videos, started in October, and I'm gonna finish out in October. I wasn't very consistent either. November, I was really good. December, so far, so good. I gonna finish this planner, or finish the last book for 2022. Maybe I'll do a specific flip through, though. The first notebook, the one that I started in March to May, was more like, had more things to show. And then, oh, I also neglected this. So I saw the Jibun Techo. I forgot who showed me it. So I bought the Biz, which I thought I was going to use it for like work. And at the time I was working as a teaching assistant. And I started to fill out the dates, but I found like online teaching is not my jam, and I just quickly stopped using this planner. Like, I barely got through. Like, I wrote these in advance, obviously. Like, this is me. I love the paper, though. I love Tomoe River paper. Gosh, God bless Tomoe River paper. So this is me actually planning, and then this is like pre-planning stuff. Obviously, I stopped March, and I think I turned to the bullet journal. So this was the Jibun Techo Biz, and this was the Jibun Techo Days, which I actually like. I like the setup. I like how the day is split. I like it a lot, and I decided to make this. I liked it more than the Biz. So I was talking about filming and just like general tasks, and it was kind of working, but I don't know. Yeah, it kind of fell off. And I tipped some vellum in. I was doing my teaching planning here, and I realized I can't separate my plans too much. Like, in other words, well, okay, so at the time I was teaching, so I was a teacher, and I had my other responsibilities to my family, friends, YouTube, etc. And I was trying to keep them in different books. That doesn't work for me. It just doesn't. When it comes to the things that I have to do, whether it's cleaning the house or meeting up with friends or tasks that I have to do with work, I need it in one book. In 2019, when I moved from New York to Virginia, in the new job that I had, I took a lot of notes on how their system worked because I was working in a college, and I had two different notebooks, one for home stuff and one for work. and that actually worked for me there. That didn't work for me here, because I was teaching from home since I was teaching online, but I also had home tasks, and it just felt like it was too mixed. And so what I learned is having multiple planners does not work for me at all. So this is the long story short. Having multiple planners doesn't work for me. What planners worked previous years, like the year that I had my home and work planners separate, I used Hobonichi weeks. 1 week for work, 1 week for home, and it worked perfectly. And they're so portable. I was driving into work 5 days a week, and I had my home planner with me. Actually, I carried them both because they were so small, but it doesn't work for me now. That method doesn't work, so I have to put the Hobonichi weeks aside. I have not purchased a Hobonichi weeks for 2023, which is the first time in like 5 years that I haven't purchased a Hobonichi weeks. While the Wonderland222 planner is nice and I do like it, I love the A6 size, I love the paper, I love the formatting for the most part, it doesn't work for me because I usually have more going on Saturday and Sunday, because my husband and I are all about misadventures, and I do like having a full breakdown of the hours from 7 to... This would work great if it was all across. The unfortunate part is most planners this size, B6 size and smaller, will not have all the columns across, except, which is what drove, like, this is why the Take a Note planner appealed to me at first, because it has that. It has Sunday and Saturday full schedule, full 24-hour schedule, well, not full 24-hour schedule, but a full week layout. So I thought this would really work, but I love my bullet journal. The bullet journal has always worked for me. I've maintained a bullet journal better than any other planner that I've ever had, aside from the weeks. I haven't found a bound notebook, and I love my bound notebooks more than spirals, that it just didn't work. I haven't found a bound notebook that worked as well as having a bullet journal. The thing is, sometimes I just don't feel like making spreads. So I have to be like I have to plan ahead to actually sit and record, well, maybe not record, but create these spreads earlier or in advance. So I don't think I'm going to be using the Take a Note at all next year. I haven't written in it. It's cute. This is a little odd. I don't like the binding over here, but it's not for me. I did buy the Wonderland222 for next year. Haven't written in it. Don't think I will. What I do like about it is how the quarters are broken up, and I found it really helpful in just tracking my YouTube stuff. Like, that was actually helpful to me at the beginning of last year. And I think maybe, if anything, I may make calendars in my bullet journal to mimic that, so that way I could keep track of my YouTube, because I don't want that to fall off again. Just keeping track of when I post videos, when I record videos, and when I reply to comments. I think that's helpful. I like trackers ingrained within the month, so that doesn't work for me, having it so separate from the month itself. The weekly layout, having it this way vertical, doesn't necessarily work for me, because having all my plans back to back, I usually like to go day by day. I do love dailies. Dailies work for me. I have the Hobonichi A6, of course, and I am thinking that this might be gratitude. I was thinking of separating out my coping skills a little bit, because I was going through my closet and I saw all my traveler's notebooks, and I was watching Sylvia. Hi Sylvia, if you're watching. Her setting up her traveler's notebook. I saw another, I forgot her name, setting up traveler's notebooks, and I was just like, I miss writing in my traveler's notebook. And I was looking through my journaling in traveler's notebook, and I'm like, oh, I miss it. I think I may get like a little pocket-sized traveler's notebook. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm not sure if I'm going to use this either. I haven't written in it. And then we have, this is an accompanying notebook. I went ham. I love an empty notebook though, I'm not gonna lie. The problem with dated though is like you can only use it for that year or you repurpose it, but don't care to repurpose it. And then we have the common planner, which is gorgeous. I already wrote in it. So I wrote it in deliberately because I'm like, yo, I want to keep this baby. I think I'm going to keep it at my desk and just kind of have it for like, I don't know, maybe work. I don't know how I'm going to use it, to be honest with you. I don't know if I want to put stickers in it at all. Love the paper. I just am very drawn to the planner. So some takeaways. To learn more about what planner works for you, you have to know what you're attracted to. I'm attracted to bound books. I love bound books. Spirals are cute, but I don't really care for them for planning. It doesn't work for me. That's one. Two, I like to do a lot of writing because I am a talker, as you can tell by this 26-minute video. Good God, what the hell have I been talking about? So I love space to write. However, I don't like big notebooks. I can't go past a B6 size. A5s always turn me off. I never continue with A5 at all. So B6 and smaller usually works for me. A6 is mostly ideal. So that's how I decided. I believe what I'm going to do is probably have, maybe I could do wellness in here because there's enough room to account for all my wellness. There's goals that I need to keep track of. I just have to think things through. Ultimately, I'm glad I talked this out with you guys, but takeaways, know what you're attracted to. What you're attracted to is what you'll reach for and use. And the whole point of this is to get ourselves together, organize, and muddy through this thing we call life as we guess how to make the best decisions. So know what you're attracted to. Know what works for you. Do you need room to sticker? Do you like to sticker? Do you like minimalist? Are you a functional planner? Are you a little in between? Do you like to change your mind at any given second? Maybe buying multiple planners will work for you. To me, when I look at that stack, it annoys me because I'm like, how did I buy all these planners? And again, I did it again. You know, these are 4 different planners. On top of the bullet journals, I already have the empty notebooks I have for my bullet journaling that I purchased. And I'm like, come on, Danny, you know yourself better than this. And I do. So maybe instead of getting frustrated with myself, I'll give myself grace and think, well, I was trying to suss out what I wanted to do. And maybe go through your stack that you worked on previous years and see why it worked will help you figure out what to do moving forward. Going through this stack, going through all my books, all my notebooks, and it's a lot. It took me a couple hours, but also made me realize I want to stick to my bullet journal, and I kind of want to separate out my journaling, and maybe separate out my wellness. I am a 1-book kind of gal, but I kind of want to make a bit more space for tasks, appointments, events versus personal reflection and being obsessive over the stats I accumulate as I work out. And I do like the fact that I could write my workout here and perhaps talk about what I lifted, how far I ran, pace, etc. So that's what I think I'm going to do. I'll come back with an actual real video when I decide how I'm going to lay everything out. But that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I know it was a ramble. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, do as you deem fit. Remember to question everything except your instincts and ask yourself the right questions. And I'll be sure to catch you on the flips. Bye.